Given that all of us agree that recession is bad, how come the Fed seems to force us into one? In order to understand what's going on, first we must understand the process of inflation. What is inflation? What causes inflation? And what can be done to hedge ourselves against inflation to make sure that our money doesn't drop in value over time? Howdy everyone! Welcome back to the Enquiries. My name is Orio Cannon. I'm a computer engineer, a realtor in Austin, Texas, and I still remember how when I was a kid, a ticket to the movies cost something like $3. Inflation is the process in which our money loses some of its value over time. We can look at a chart here showing movie ticket prices over the course of several years, and we can see that it's getting more expensive. So although the experience seems to be relatively similar, the prices are going up and up and up, and it's because of many factors. Now, because inflation is a process that we can't really see, but it's something that happens slowly over time, and our money looks the same, even though it's worth a bit less, it is really important to understand it in order to hedge ourselves against it. Let's speak about the causes of inflation. There are three main causes of inflation, the first one being cost push inflation. So, getting back to the theater example, imagine that now producing the movies costs more money because you need to pay more money to the production company and you need to do amazing CGI effect that costs more, and imagine that the real estate is costing you more to rent or to own the property and you have more property taxes and so on and so forth. All of these costs add up and somebody needs to pay, and this somebody is the consumer. Us needing to pay more means that we get the same type of goods as before, but we're paying more money for it, which is exactly inflation. The second thing is demand inflation. So imagine that we have one theater in our town and we want to see a movie, and a lot of people are coming to see the same movie. Maybe it's because the town grew and we have more people in the town. Maybe it's because the movies are really awesome and we just want to see them more. Maybe because of really good marketing. People are seeing advertisement of everything and just want to go and see this movie. But there's a finite amount of seats in the theater and there's more demand to it, driving the prices up until a new point of equilibrium. So if the ticket used to cost $4, now it costs $5 and $6 until we get a more stable situation. Other than theaters, another great example is real estate. We see it all the time. In some cities that experience hyper growth, a lot of population moving into the cities, and you have a finite amount of houses, the prices are increasing rapidly because you have the same amount of houses, but more people that are trying to buy the same commodity. The third thing is cash infusion, or simply speaking, governments printing money. This one is kind of confusing. So the government is the entity that prints money, and we have a set amount of dollars in circulation at every given time. If the government wants to induce economic growth, one thing they can do is to print more money, or maybe taking more debt, but basically putting more money in circulation, and then people have more money in their hands and they're spending more. This one is a bit tricky because there's an argument to be made that if people have more money, they can pay more things, and now another theater can open up, and the theater can open up a new room. So there is more supply. And when there's more supply and more demand, the prices might even stay put. So a little bit of doing it can work well, but it's really hard to balance it because there are so many factors that are coming to play. And that is what is super difficult with inflation. Not everything is growing in the same rate. Houses can grow rapidly while gas prices are stable. Now, the difficult thing with inflation is that there are a lot of different factors coming to play at once, and it's very hard to balance it out and making sure that everything is going in the same pace. So how can we mitigate the risk of inflation? How can we hedge ourselves against it? Well, other than just hoping that inflation will be controlled well by the government and wouldn't get too high, the main thing to do is to invest your capital. Make sure that you don't sit on too much money, too much cash in your bank or under your mattress, because over time, the value will drop. Now, of course, it's important that if we invest, we do it in a very educated and safe manner for as much as we can. We need to understand the risk thresholds and yada, yada, yada. And again, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so what I'm telling you here is more about good practices, but you should always consult a professional. Now, you need to also keep in mind that when you are investing your money, you get the magic called compound interest. Compounded interest is the effect of getting interest on our interests. It can actually double your investments over time, but it's a topic for a different video. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to learn more about it. The other thing you can do in order to hedge yourself against inflation is to have debt in a low fixed interest rate. And if it sounds familiar, then you know that mortgages is one type of debt, but you don't have to do this specific thing. When you combine low rates and leverage, which is something that you can do in real estate, you can achieve really good gains. But again, do your own due diligence. We have money that we saved up and we should not get fined on saving up. So we should take the money, we should invest it, we should make sure that our money works for us, producing more and more capital in order to achieve great financial security for our family. All right, this pretty much sums up the video about inflation. I know it's a boring topic, but I hope it was somewhat entertaining or maybe insightful. If it was, please consider dropping us a like. It really helps a lot. And I would love to hear what are the other topics that you would like me to cover about economy, real estate, or anything in between. Drop me a comment. I read everything, and I'll see you on the next one. We got here Don Don. Don Don, look there. This is, you see this is the black one? This is the camera, okay? So Don Don, what do you think about inflation? Do you think it's good or is it bad?
It's good.
It's good.
Not too many.
Not too many. Don't you think you should leverage your investments?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
What does T-Rex do? Does he leverage his investments?
No, it's like a dinosaur.
Oh, it's like a dinosaur. It's completely different.
It has a lot of teeth
A lot of teeth?
and it'll bite you.
It bites you? Wow.
When me and Daddy are gonna be a T-Rex dinosaur, I will scare you, cause
Okay.
you need to go away.
Okay.